We're going to investigate the idea of influential points, unusual points, and then whether or not they are influential through this activity that is actually in a book I have, but I also found online, so hence the title and all that kind of stuff. We'll just look at the activity. So here are 4 points, 1, 2, 2, 6, 4, 2, 5, 6. I've put them in a GeoGebra file, and we really only need the spreadsheet. We don't need to look at anything else because you guys often see the one variable analysis when we, oops, I have to highlight the 2 columns, and then I want to do a 2 variable regression analysis on that. And here you go. So we can look at all this on the same screen. And we get a regression line, 0.4x plus 2.8. We should have really looked at this initially and said, without the line, what about the direction, form, and strength? I don't know if it would have said direction was positive. Curiously enough, it might have looked neither positive nor negative. Form, is it linear? Well, straight enough, possibly. And strength would be maybe weak or moderate. So what do we find out when we ask the software to do this? We do get a regression line. There's a y in here. It's hard to notice, but we get a regression line of 0.4x plus 2.8. And we have a correlation coefficient of 0.31, somewhat weak. So there's my correlation, 0.31, and the slope was 0.4. Now what happens if we add this 0.3 comma 4? Notice it's right in the center of the given point, so it certainly doesn't have any leverage. So it's center. It's sort of what I should have asked you to think about predicting what would happen. It doesn't change the correlation, doesn't change the slope, and we notice the line goes right through it, so it's got a residual of 0. What about 8, 6? So it's pretty far out, and it's in the same line with these guys. What do you think that's going to do? So that does have some leverage in that it's a little ways out. So it's strengthening the correlation, but it's just strengthening it. It's not changing the slope. It has a residual of 0. Let's try 10, 7. Again, what's this going to do? You can think about that. It's far out, so it's got leverage, and it's up a little further on the y-axis, so I think it's going to cause that direction to be a bit more positive. Sure enough, it changed the slope a little, certainly changed the correlation. So not yet really influential, but certainly some leverage. I think the answers say there's a small residual. I didn't make a residual plot. I feel like things would get a little messy. I'm going to say 0 or very small. So continue to do this and think about what these points are going to do. Sort of take a guess. What's 3, 8 going to do? Again, it's right in the middle, but then it's up here. What would that do to the original? So it's up here somewhere. Or 1, 7. 1, 7. What's that going to do? So play with those points, fill it in, and then answer these questions. And the answers are later, so you can just look at those. Good idea to think about what might happen, record what happens, and then check your answers. And I think it will help you when it's time to go do the exercises.